I wouldn't say that it's really a race as to who passes away or not. No.
I don't notice that here. You know, it seems like we have a mixture of both. So, you know, I'm not sure.
African Americans have the highest rate of infant mortality, and is it linked to racism? I'm not sure, but I know that we do have some health issues that are considered to be linked to racism.
I really don't know how that could play a factor. I guess because more African American women are getting pregnant, maybe, so they don't really know. I don't know, that's what I see. More African American women, teenagers, being pregnant more than any other race, probably. So they don't really have the education to take care of a baby at maybe a young age, which kills them off early.
Okay, we have to. We just think that the black people always work very hard, and usually they put the black people in the bottom of the society, the level. And for the Latin people, like Hispanic people, the skin color can be closest to a white person. And with the language, I think they have their own community and they help each other. But with black people, I think it's completely different. And they try to give like easiest for them. For example, if you try to compare someone from Cuba, like an immigrant, and someone from Haiti, the treatment will be completely different. Because if you're a Cuban, once you go to the United States, you have some more opportunity than the person from Haiti or other black country.
When I was in California, we would watch these little series every week, these seminars, and there was a couple of videos where they were saying that it's okay, first they were using immigrants, right? They're using an example of immigrants. What happens is when an immigrant comes here, it's kind of like they have an identity crisis because they don't belong here. They don't feel like they belong here, so stress levels can go up because they don't feel like this is their home. They kind of feel like a lot of odds are against them. And sometimes I feel like black people feel the same way because they don't feel like they belong in the quote-unquote white world. And so stresses like that do elevate people's blood pressure and other things that may affect your
African-American women or any African-American person are usually one in their family that has risen above all of this. And so they still have the pressures of giving to their family and taking care of their family going on that their white counterparts wouldn't have. So their life is still more stressful because they're making the same salary does not necessarily mean they're on the same socioeconomic standards, because now you're the only one in your family of 7 that has made it. And you have to take care of the rest of everyone else. You know, that's
right. Because I think that stress has to deal with a lot of hormones imbalance, but then it's also because stress affecting how people mentally handle their situation. Like if you're not mentally sound, you're not happy. And I think that can affect the quality of your life, and that affected the fetus that you're carrying along. Because that's why you see with people who have stress level is really high, it's either in a really big corporate job with a lot of stress, or you're really economic disadvantage. That's why you have babies that, either low birth weight or just having a lot of issues.
So I'm just going to use personal experience here in terms of the way you're brought up. Not that it's necessarily correct, but I know a lot of Hispanics, especially my family and some of my friends, if they get a girl pregnant, they're almost required by culture to either stay with them or marry them. Prime example is a girl that I once dated. Her mom told me that if I did get her pregnant, we were getting married, no ifs, ands, or buts. In the same regard, my aunt's previous husband has 2 kids, and when they got divorced, he got more kids, and he doesn't spend any time with any of them, and that causes a lot of stress. So I think that perhaps there's less support for the African American female in terms of pregnancy. Maybe the guy doesn't stick around, maybe she knows this. If she's successful, maybe she already planned for this, but now she's already taken in all the extra stress of parenthood, pregnancy, and doing it alone because, you know, she knows that her partner's not going to be there. So this is all just cultural things in which it varies. Like, I'm not saying that all Hispanics are that way. I'm just saying that I know in my family and the people that the circle that I hang out with, they do get girls pregnant generally pretty young, but they tend to stick with them. And it's like a quasi-marriage. Like, they're together for so long, they're not really married, but they have kids, and everyone considers them to be married. So I don't know if it's like that in African American women, and maybe that's why it affects mortality, because they don't have that support that Hispanics or the white female might have.
But I have heard that the African American population doesn't trust the medical system as much as other types of populations based on historically things that have happened, and I forget the exact name of the medical I want to call it a scandal, but it was where they were like testing a number of African Americans, and they weren't really telling them what was going on, and yeah, that's what it is. So I don't think that that in the African American population's mind is, I'm not going to go to the doctor because I don't trust the doctor, but I think that perhaps it's not as habitual to go get screening and make sure that that your child is tested for all the various prenatal tests, because that's maybe not linked into the culture.
I think that finances play a major role in it. I think that is probably a very significant factor. I think also access to health care and the effect of race on access to health care is a major issue as well. Do economics play a role in that? Almost certainly. But also society and availability of health care to all individuals, there is disparity there. And I think it's an area that we need to make a considerable improvement.
Among groups who have sort of a lower level of attainment of sort of formal education and who have lower socioeconomic status, and both those things frequently go together in this country. So if you are poor and relatively uneducated, then yes, I believe you're likely to belong to a group that has higher infant mortality and morbidity rates than not, and lower levels of prenatal care, sort of later onset of prenatal care.